You may wish to find a quiet place to discuss all this. And besides, what you're about to see you won't find on your TV at home. You see, some news is just so bad. Some would rather it was just forgotten and thrown away.
We really have a new kind of progressive collapse that we have discovered here, which is a fire-induced progressive collapse. World Trade Center 7 collapsed because of fires.
I retired with 32 years total. They added up part of my military time and my police time. There's no way in the history of history that a steel frame building of that magnitude has ever come down from a few pockets of fire. The fire department mentality is such that it's patriotic, it's pro-government, it's pro-normalcy, and especially when we were doing the funerals. I did 7 and I couldn't do any more. It was a tough situation for us all. We lost 343 guys on that day.
Enormous building in New York has collapsed.
Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building?
Building number 7, one of the buildings in this very large complex of buildings.
The implications of Building 7 coming down in free fall are huge for every fire service in the world. The reason for that is because when you fight a high-rise building fire, what you do is you go to the floor below the fire, you establish a bridgehead, you then send breathing apparatus teams up the stairs onto the next floor where the fire actually is, together with water jets, to go and find the fire, locate it, attack it, and put it out. You do not at any time think that the building you're actually stood in is suddenly going to collapse down into a pile of rubble in 6 seconds the way that Building 7 did. So it changes completely how you're going to fight high-rise fires. Every procedure for fighting high-rise buildings is going to have to change. So for firefighters, everything's going to change. For building engineers and architects, it's also going to have to change, because the unspoken acceptance before that the building frame would always stay up because the fire can't get hot enough to take out a steel frame, well, clearly, according to NIST now, this can happen.
I joined the fire service in November 2000 and I'm currently employed by the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service in Edinburgh. I've been aware of the problems with the official story for 9/11 since approximately 2010. For a period of time I was in a state of shock that we had not been told the truth about that event. I was surprised that I hadn't seen Building 7 before. It's not something that's been publicised. There are not many people that know about it. If you want to know about Building 7, you more or less have to go on the internet and research it for yourself.
I think we have been very clear as to how this particular building collapsed. Fire-induced local damage to connections and beams and girders, as I've explained through the posters that you see here, over a period of time when the fires reached the east side of the building on the lower floors. Once that happened, there was a critical column, the girder that failed between 79 and 44, which then started a cascade of floor failures in the vicinity of column 79, over 9 stories. Once you had that sequence...
To tell us such a thing and then not act upon that information to investigate or look at the construction of current buildings, not just in this country but around the whole world. They're all based upon the same concept of structure. I feel quite indignant about that. It's just almost as if they don't care. If we are to believe the main story, the official story, that these office fires caused that building to collapse, then we have a major problem worldwide with other buildings that have all been built in a similar nature.
If you'd had a structural failure on any other kind of structure, if it had been an aeroplane, every aeroplane in that fleet would have been grounded. I think we'd like to know why the NIST data has been suppressed and why they won't release it to the public. I mean, they say the official position on it is that they won't release the data because it could jeopardise public safety. Well, if it's going to jeopardise public safety, what about firefighter safety? Why don't they know about this? I mean, that's the obvious question that arises out of their suppression of the data. I think the problem is that most firefighters don't actually know about the problem, and so what you're dealing with is, and what Brian Maxwell tried to bring to the attention of the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service, is something that they've never seen before. They're not acting upon it, and if they're not acting upon it, I mean, how many firefighters does it take to die before they actually do something about it? That's the deep concern for the people who made the film. When you look at Building 7, most of the polls now prove that when people look at it, they don't believe that building came down through natural causes. If the building didn't come down through natural forces, then 343 firefighters died on that day, and this has to be investigated properly.
Can I get one too?
Sure, I'd rather have my picture with that good-looking lady, but...
Sure, you can get one too. Yeah, but I was wondering, have you heard of Building 7? Because there was like a radio show where you said that you never heard of Building 7.
No, I haven't. What's Building 7?
The third skyscraper that fell on 9/11.
Oh my gosh, sure, now I remember.
Did you do some research into that?
No, I was busy with the Pentagon getting hit.
Of course. Yeah, but there's a lot of controversy surrounding that.
Oh, is that right?
It was the third skyscraper that was away from
I gotta go. All right.
But what's your thoughts on Building 7, Mr. Rumsfeld? Mr. Rumsfeld, it's hard to believe you don't know Building 7, though, to be completely honest with you.
Firefighting.